2.1. Solving linear equation. Example 1. How do we determine k equal to 2 is the solution of an equation? 4k minus 2 equal to 2k plus 1. So first, we substitute the value of k into equation. So that will be 4 times 2 minus 2 equal to 2 times 2 plus 1. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. That is equal to 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So notice that 6 does not equal to 5. This is false. So therefore, k equal to 2 is not a solution. So now we want to review on how to solve the linear equation. Example 2. So first, we will simplify each side of the equation. So that means on the left hand side, I will distribute this negative 2 into both. On the right hand side, I will distribute this 8 into both. So this gives me 6 times 4. When I distribute a negative 2, that will be negative 14y plus 2 equal to, when I distributed 8 into 13. So you can basically use a calculator, or you can use on a side work multiplying it. 8 times 3, 24. 8 times 1 is 8, so 104. So it will be 104 minus 8 times 8 is 64y. Continue simplifying on the left hand side. So 6. Go order of operation. So 4 plus 2 is 6 minus 14y is equal to 104 minus 64y. Now distributing 6, so that will be 36 minus 6 times 14. So 14 times 6, you can multiply on the side again. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 1 is 6, so it would be 8. So that would be 84y equal to 104 minus 64y. So now basically you can isolate the variable by itself. So that means we subtract 36 on both sides. So if you subtract 36 on both sides, that will left with 84y is equal to 104 take away 36. That will give me 68 minus 64y. Now you add 64y to both sides. That will give me negative 84 plus 64. That gives me negative 20y. Now continuing this, we divide both sides by negative 20, which is equal to y equal to 68 divided by negative 20. It's divisible by 4, so that will be negative. 4 goes into 6 one time and 7 times. So 68 divided by 4 is 17. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So therefore my final answer is negative 17 over 5. Moving to the next question. Example 3. How do we solve linear equations containing fractions? So first, as usual, we distribute it into both of the term, which will become 1/5 n plus 3/5 is equal to 1/4 n plus 1/2, because 1/4 times 2 over 1, when you reduce it, that gives you 1/2. Now, we have to find the least common denominator of all the fractions and multiply to both sides. So in this case, my least common denominator, 542, that will be 20. So we multiply 20 to the left-hand side and 20 to the right-hand side. So when I distribute it, this gives me 20 times 1/5. So we can do it on the side work like before. Goes in 1 time, 4 times, so that will be 4n. And 20 times 3/5 we do on the left-hand side, on the side work. 5 goes into 1 time, 5 goes in 24 times. 4 times 3 is 12, so it will be plus 12. 1/4 times 20, that is 5n, plus 1/2 times 20 is 10. So now, it will be, in like previous example, we're going to isolate the variable by itself. Subtracting 4n to both sides, that will give me n plus 10. And then subtracting 10 to both sides, that will give me 2. So therefore, my answer is 2. So make sure you write in set notation, right? These braces are basically called open set and close set. Next example, example 4. This example is very similar to the previous one, but however, it's written a little bit different format. But we still see fractions, so as usual, we're going to multiply by LCD of all the fractions to clear the fractions. So in this case, the LCD is 6 and 3, which is 6. So you multiply the left-hand side by 6. And the right-hand side by 6. So when I distribute it, so this is the part that you have to be careful, right? 6 and 6, they cancel out, so it will become 3r plus 5. And 6 times 1, that will be 6, equal to, now 3 and 6, 3 goes into 6 2 times, so you have to be careful because that 2 is going to be multiplying to the numerator. So now on the left hand side you combine like terms, and on the right hand side we distribute it. So this will be 8r plus 6. Now it's time for us to isolate the variable by itself. So subtracting 3r to both sides, that becomes 5r plus 6. Subtracting 6 to both sides, that will be 5 equal to 5r. Finally, we divide both sides by 5, so therefore that is 1. So my final answer is 1. Example 5. Decimal. Fraction, decimal is not that difficult. So first of all, distribute it as usual. So 0.25n plus 0.05n plus 0.25. When you multiply 0.05 times 5, so 0.25 equal to 2.95. Since every term has 2 decimal places, I'm going to multiply the left hand side by 100 and the right hand side by 100. So this will help us to clear the decimal number, which is make it easier for us to continue. So when I distribute it 100 into every single term, So that will become 25n plus 5n plus 25 equal to 295, which gives us 30n plus 25 is equal to 295. Now, isolating the variable n, so we subtract both sides by 25, which will give me 270. Dividing both sides by 30, 270 divided by 30, which gives us n is equal to 9. So therefore my final answer is 9 in this case. Next example. Example 6. So as usual, we're going to try to distribute it first. On the left hand side, distributing 9, that'll be 4 plus 27x minus 63, right? Distributing 9. On the left hand side, or on the right hand side, negative 42x minus 13. Now we're going to distribute this 23 to both sides. So 23 times 3, that will give me plus 69x. 23 times 2, that will be negative 46. Simplify a bit means combining like terms on each side. So that will be 27x. 4 minus 63, that will give me negative 59 equal to, in this case, we know that negative 42 plus 69, that will give us 27x, and then negative 13 minus 46, which give us negative 59. Now, if I subtract both sides by 27x, we got 59. Negative 59 is equal to negative 59. So a lot of in some cases it will happen, the variable that you are solving for along the process, it got eliminated. So we need to determine the leftover statement, right, to say what is my solution is. So this is a true statement, right? Negative 59 is equal to negative 59. So therefore, that tells us we have many solution. We have many solutions, which means for any value of x, this equation will always satisfy. Means you can substitute any x value, it will always work. Example 7. So now, distributing as usual, 5 on the left hand side, which is 12c plus 25 plus 15c equal to, distributing 3 to both sides. That will give me 27c minus 12. Simplify a little bit. That will give me 27c plus 25 is equal to 27c minus 12. Subtracting 27c on both sides, that help us to get 25 is equal to negative 12. So notice that the contrast to the previous example, the leftover statement right here is false. This means no matter which value of the variable that you choose, this will never work. This equation will never work. So we say that no solution in this situation. And that is the end of 2.1.